How to seek knowledge with having a busy schedule. That's a long answer. But one of the things that an individual should do is prioritize what he wants to learn. So an individual, he says, I want to learn Qawaid al-Arba, and he starts from that which is small. I want to memorize Qawaid al-Arba, I want to read the explanation, or Usul al-Thalatha, or 40 hadiths of Imam al-Nawawi. So you take something small, you start with something small, and you decide that, khalas, this is what I want to work on. Or memorization of, Surah al-Baqarah or whatever. Then the individual finds out he looks for his time pockets of time that he has. And he writes a schedule. He actually writes it out. And even the kuffar say this, but it was even before the kuffar. You had from amongst the Salaf al-Salih, Ibn Jama' al-Kinani, Tadhkirat al-Sama, one of the greatest, and he's a contemporary of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, one of the greatest books written on seeking knowledge. And I believe it's in the process, or it's about to be translated. But Ibn Jama'ah mentions about, finding your time pockets. So you say, I wake up this time, what do I do? So you write your schedule for the full day, and you're realistic in writing your schedule for the full day. So you write your schedule for the full day, and then when you see where you have pockets of time, and then you apply what you want to learn in that time. You say, okay, I see that I have time here. I'm going to dedicate this time to learning. If I'm driving to work or if I'm on the metro, I'm going to listen to the lecture in this book or the explanation by a scholar or a student of knowledge for this book. Then when I come home, let's say you come home at 9 o'clock at night, or you come home at 8:30 at night, but you don't go to sleep until 11. So what do you do in that time? You say, I spend time with my family and I eat dinner. Okay. So you say, okay, from 8:30 to 9:30, I'll eat dinner. From 9:30 till 10 o'clock, I'll spend time with my family. From 10 o'clock to 10:30, I'll go off to my library and I'll memorize this book or read this book or listen to a lecture on this book. So you block yourself off. You cannot sit there in the living room while your family's talking and everyone's talking and memorize or read. You can't do it. You have to block yourself off. You have to go into a sort of isolation. You go into your study, you go into your basement, you go into your attic, and you read that book. You memorize it. You write it out. Right? And then, okay, then you can go back to your family. But a half hour to 45 minutes you spend seeking knowledge. You do that consistently, you will be able to seek knowledge. And then you will find that you have a desire and a thirst to take more time. So on the weekend, Saturday mornings, instead of sleeping late, no, you get up, you pray Fajr, and then for an hour after Fajr, you sit. While the family's sleeping, you sit and you memorize, you review, you read, you listen to a lecture, and you do the same thing on Sunday morning after Fajr. Or if you get up at Tahajjud at night, so you get up at 4 a.m. in the morning. So usually you pray Tahajjud from 4 to 4:30. So then you say, okay, I'll pray Tahajjud from 4 to 4:30, and then from 4:30 to 4:45, I will study. Point is that you find your pocket times, and you begin to use those times for seeking knowledge. And a lot can be said about that. You can find lectures, even maybe on YouTube. I've possibly done something, and others from amongst the scholars and the brothers, they've done stuff on how to seek knowledge if an individual is very busy. But the person has to be one thing which is important is consistency. One thing which is important is consistency. So what I mentioned about finding the pocket times is consistency. And even if something happens that goes against that, but as soon as it's finished, you go back to your schedule. You go back to your schedule. So you actually make a schedule for seeking knowledge. This is that which we have to offer. Allah knows best. Wa sallallahu wa sallam wa baraka ala nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam tasneeman kathira.